So we can go to some of our responses. So we had 2 questions for our polls. The first one, what were your fears when you turned 18? Some of the responses that we got was, I am scared because I don't know what I'm doing, and I am scared to make another mistake. I'm scared of joining the real world. Oh, yes, with adult people. Specifically, this person said adult men because this person, I'm assuming is a girl. So this person is 18 and she's like, something like older men can really look at me now, and it is acceptable in society.
Yeah.
And like
That's interesting that that's giving her anxiety. Think about I don't know, I don't know if I like block out most of them, but I don't really have terrible experiences with men supervisors. I have like probably one instance when I was working, actually, I had a shirt like this on, and there was somebody over me asking me a question, obviously looking down my shirt, and I said, "Ooh," like that. And
yes,
he's like, "Oh, don't cover it. No, it looks nice." He was probably like I was probably 19. I was probably 18, 19.
that's weird.
And he was no lie like 65. Like
That's weird.
old, like he could have been my grandpa
That's
friend. I was so taken back. So I get that anxiety. Like,
yeah,
yeah, it's really weird. And then I went to the CFO at the time, that company, and I said, "This is what just happened." And I'm like expecting him to reprimand him or something. No, he was like, "Well, could you blame him?"
wow,
Really? I
they
was
need to
like,
be canceled now.
right. Luckily, after that experience, every other supervisor that I had was male, was super respectful.
Good,
Yeah.
good. That's really important.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry you have to deal with that.
Thank you.
That's
I've been waiting for you to say sorry.
I mean, we can put love. We can figure it out.
Listen,
I was he's still alive because he was 60 back then, right? Over a night. That's like,
but
decades.
they had kids by age, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure.
So
That's
like
even
that,
weirder.
it's just weird.
That's
It's
even
just
weirder.
mad weird, but I get that struggle because it's
So
weird.
this person that responded that you are not alone.
You got this, girl. Put your
Yes.
boundaries. Put your
Put boundaries.
That's
right.
it. Just
Put
say
the
you don't like
boundaries.
it.
Some other responses were being on my own, like providing for myself. What to do if I lost my job or something. My fear would be to be successful in college. So being successful in graduating and becoming successful, whatever this
Yeah.
success meant to this person.
Right.
This other person said that I would fail as a teenage mom.
Ooh. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Well, I actually wanted to stop there because
Yeah,
there's
go
some
ahead.
stuff that happen when you're in transitions.
Mhm.
Like any transition, there's stuff that happens that takes precedent over your goal. At that point, it's great to have support and see if they're willing, your support is willing to help you behind the goal.
Right.
And still adjusting. They still have to adjust and really have respect for your boundaries because you're still an adult, but you still need them. So it's like a really hard balance, but I think
Yeah, that's
communication
difficult.
could go really far on that one. Like the 18-year-old teenage mom still wanting to go pursue her dream, if she can gather a good support system and just talk to them about, hey, do you have my back? I just have to do this once a week for an hour. Are you okay with that? And if they're willing to work with you, then that's good. But that is a huge fear because if it's not a baby, it could be something else. Like, it could be an illness. It could be somebody passing away. Now you have to grieve something. So things happen, and look for your supports at those moments because there's a way to push through it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And that's also talking about the pivot that we talked
Yep.
about.
Yeah.
Sometimes we do have to pivot. Sometimes putting our dreams on hold is a thing.
Has to happen. But that's where you could pick up another dream.
Right.
Like now I'm hearing a lot of talk about like people going into trade first and then going into college.
Right.
I think that's smart. You get a trade, it's a lot less money that you invest in, but you can also do something that is going to pay another
passion.
opportunity.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So Yeah, there's different ways, guys. There's no
Yes.
cookie cutter way.
No.
If you get it done, you get it done. There's no specific way of success either.
Right. And your way is perfect.
Yeah,
Your way is perfect. Like no
perfect
one.
for you.
Yes. And last one for that question was growing up, paying bills, leaving my home, starting college,
The
and
world.
the world not accepting me for who I was.
Oh.
That's really interesting.
All of those are really scary,
Yes.
especially because the bills part, like I said earlier, if nobody was teaching you that financial literacy, if nobody
Mhm.
was teaching you how to save, what a credit score was, it all can be very, very scary. Yes.
Yes.
And the last part, I think the world not accepting me for who I was, what would you say to that person? If they're worried about the world not accepting them for who they are or they were.
I would say accept yourself. You are your world. Everybody else is just a bonus. The people that are around you that love who you are, that's a bonus.
Yeah. I wouldn't say to stay stuck in validation from others, like
Yeah.
you wanting acceptance from others. That's just a tiny piece of the puzzle.
Yeah.
Like you said, just make sure you have the people around you that do care about you, but mainly don't seek validation from others because then they
No.
will tell you who you are.
Right.
And you don't want to get stuck in a cycle where you're being told who you are. You more want to just do it naturally and be like, one day you look and be like, oh, I am really this person.
Right. Right.
And it'll
Right.
be much more natural and
Yes.
authentic and real.
Raw. Yeah. Yes. But I can understand how that's an anxiety.
Yeah, it's scary.
It is scary. And again, being at that age, that is one of the things. I mean, like, I was definitely worried about that at that age. And so I was able to really understand that. Not about you.
Exactly. Right. And
About me.
it comes from the family dynamics too. Like if people were so like parents project, siblings project, aunts project, grandmas project onto you.
Absolutely.
The second question is, what is something you wish you knew at 18?
At 18 or even going into the new transition,
Okay.
right? This individual said the amount of writing there is for a master's, the information about the different traumas and to deal with some of my own traumas to get into that profession.
Yep. That's the fun part.
Yes.
It's a fun part.
Yes.
It's very emotional.
Bittersweet. Bittersweet.
And
I would say bittersweet.
It's literally like ongoing because it's not like we stop right here. We're good to go.
It's because once you're aware that that's something you have to do and then you start doing it and then you're like, well, can't stop now. Like,
Yeah.
this is part of my life, you know?
Yep.
So the other ones where I think, so in the MSW profession, there's a lot of politics. Clearly, this person's a social worker.
Yeah.
There's a lot of politics. And then most people, so most employers, I would say focus more on the statistics, the money, more than the actual people that are in need. And that's in the mental health field. They're prioritizing spending more time on reports and documentation in comparison to spending more quality time helping people in need. The stress level and the burnout rate and the low pay level.
I think in general, we do a lot for service. We do a lot of service. Like we're constantly servicing people and we're taking on heavy emotions and that's where the burnout comes in. So in those points, when we have a hard day at work, for instance, we still got to go to work the next day. If we hear somebody's trauma, it's not, and then we have a session like in an hour or in 5 minutes, we have another session. We literally have to woosah it out, clear our minds and go straight to the next one. So that takes a toll on you. And I think that part is very true. It's like the burnout is not worth sometimes the pay that we're getting because then we start to put other things last, like our kids or our families or something that we wanted
Yeah.
to do.
Yeah.
Gardening, something that's therapeutic for us, you know, so whatever it is.
I don't have a green thumb, but that sounds good. I mean, shout out to people that do have a
I
green
literally
thumb,
want to be
'cause
that person one
Me
day. Well, maybe we
Oh,
will do
Lord.
it together. It's like,
maybe we could
we're
try.
gonna
Yes.
force it. We're gonna force it.
Then another one was not responding to any criticism in an emotional way and boundary setting.
Yeah, boundary setting is
Yes.
huge. In our field, at least, if we're going to still talking about, but in any field, to be honest,
Any
we
aspect
already
of your
talked
life.
about boundaries a lot
Yes.
today.
Yeah.
Not responding to criticism in an emotional way.
That's a good one. Criticism is something you're going to receive everywhere you go, no matter what you do.
But some people don't know how to take it.
Yeah.
Like me, I'm the type of person that I want to hear feedback. I want to hear like constructive criticism. I don't want to
Right.
hear like something shady. Like
Right.
obviously there's a limit, but I want to hear
Right.
like, hey, you could do better if you do this, because that's
Right.
where I'm learning.
Right.
But the part is on not responding in an emotional way, like jumping down somebody's throat if they're like, I don't like how this came out.
Right. I'll be raw about it. I struggle with this sometimes. I feel like since I've been working on myself, I've been accepting it a little bit better. And that's more of like my emotional reactions. Really thinking about how your emotional reaction to these things hinder your growth, right? It kind of keep you from
Yeah.
moving forward it's my way of how I'm handling my criticism now, right?
Yeah.
But we do accept it on our Raw podcast. So definitely give us some constructive criticism.
Constructive criticism in the comments.
Don't worry, we're not going to react emotionally.
I don't care. I think there was a few TikTok responses that were very sweet. They were nice. Some were assuming like that they knew like the full context of the episode, but I didn't jump down their throat. I'm like, okay, you're taking from this little clip. Cool.
Watch the episode.
Yes.
That's how you know what it's about.
Yeah, you have the full context. But you guys are great, and thank you for hanging out with us. We hope you keep hanging out with us.
Yeah.
The gem of the day today is you don't have to have it all figured out. No one ever does. And when you reach a transition, enjoy it and adjust accordingly.
Don't forget to follow us